Well, hello there. How's everybody doing tonight? Everybody doing pretty good? I'm assuming you guys are still listening to my videos once in a while. Maybe you go back and listen to them. I don't know how many of you actually do that, but maybe you do. But thought I would give a quick channel update just to let you know, yes, I'm still around, still on the planet. I've had a lot of stuff's been going on in the last year. I moved to a new state. And just been very busy. So I know that's a bad excuse, but yes, I have been. But things are starting to settle down a little bit now. So this was always something I thought about. Boy, I got to just get back into this and start working on the next lecture. So that's what I've been doing. About 60% through the Roman lecture. That's what's going to come first, probably in July or early August. And by that time, I'll hopefully have another Greek lecture as well. But the first one will be the Roman lecture, and I think it's going to be another good one. We're going to be talking about Scipio's preparations for the invasion of Africa, and Livy gives us quite a bit of information on that. As usual, it's very exhaustive, but interesting to say the least. And as we sort of talked about in the last Roman video, the Senate sort of gave sort of a mixed bag in terms of a ruling for Scipio. They basically said, okay, well, we're not going to give you the consular armies, even though you're a consul, which was almost unheard of, but we will allow you to go ahead and recruit your own army and go ahead and feel free to solicit as many donations as you want, but we're not gonna help you. So that was sort of interesting. So Scipio he gets, of course, assigned Sicily, and that's where he's going to sort of set up shop for a while. So we'll talk about that. Hannibal, of course, is still situated in Bruttium, and they're more than content just to leave the consular armies there. And they're still, even though they have every advantage, Hannibal lacks food, resources, all these things for his army, they still don't press the issue. It's really sort of remarkable. Even Livy mentions that. It's so remarkable that they didn't want to force the issue. They were more than happy just for Hannibal to maintain, his little presence there, but they certainly weren't anxious to try to force the issue, which they probably could have, but they were still, I think that those awful defeats, though they were over a decade earlier, were still burned into the memory of the Romans. So they were treading carefully. I guess that's the best way to say that. They were treading very carefully. So, I'm looking forward to this, and once the lecture is done, I wish it was done. I might be able to record it this weekend, but these take a while to do, and I've still got some other things to do, but hopefully I can pound out more than one every 2 years. No, that's not going to happen. I'm going to be a little bit more active, and hopefully, the goal is to complete the Second Punic Wars. I know, and I've received, I want to say, hundreds of messages over the last year asking for that. So I certainly wasn't trying to ignore anybody or anything like that. So I'm very proud of this series, both series, the Greek and the Roman series. So, they've been fun to do, and I'm certainly not abandoning them. The other thing is I am also, probably after those two videos are done, I'd like to do a short video, but just to talk about it. It's an interesting subject of what came before the Romans and the Greeks. There was something was there before, right? Some peoples. It's a matter of a lot of debate. We're talking before the Bronze Age, the period before the Bronze Age, and they don't know exactly who is there, but they can trace this through linguistics. And what they were able to see is there's a common language that was spoken by everybody as far away from India all the way to Portugal, up into Scandinavia. All these languages have similarities in terms of not only the words but also the sounds, how we speak them. They found a very common language which is called the PI, and that stands for Proto-Indo-European language. And so they can sort of track not only the language, even though it doesn't exist anymore. There's no, I guess we would say this is a theory. It still is a theory. There's no written part of this language. And certainly no one's around speaking it today. It is a dead language, but they can construct it reconstruct some of it at least through the languages that still exist today: English, Hindi, Germanic, the Germanic languages, all of these languages. And many of them actually are dead. Many of them are gone, but the ones that do survive can give linguists quite a bit to work with. So I'll do a video on that. I think it's a fascinating subject to talk about. And they do believe there was actually a homeland where this all started too, back in the steppes in the Pontic region of Asia. That's where it's believed to have sprung from, I guess I would say. By the way, I'm just sort of talking here. This is more like a podcast. But in any event, look for a video in the next 30 to 45 days. And after that, I really do intend to keep up a quicker rate in producing these. Okay, thanks as always for watching. And if you have any comments, as always, leave them in this video and I'll respond to them. Thank you.